hip, 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 hip.
Hi guys, this is Leah from Elsie's Adventures in Libraryland, and I'm holding my camera right now. I just can't find a good comfortable spot to freaking film tonight. I don't know why. Like the lighting is all wonky and anyway, so this is just my intro to my book review that I'm going to be doing tonight about a book I just finished reading. Oh my god, I can't even hold it up. Across the Universe by Beth Revis, and there's the cover of my library book. So yeah, the rest of this video is just gonna be me talking about what I thought. And as you guys might know, this is a science fiction book, but it's also kind of, I would say, like a dystopian book as well. It definitely has dystopian elements in it. It takes place in the future, and the setting is kind of like this society that has gone all wrong. So, yeah. Oh, and I also wanted to just point out that I just got my hair colored too. This has nothing to do, obviously, with my review, but this is kind of like the bright red color that I always go for, and you might have noticed in my last videos that my roots were horrendously showing, so I'm just so happy that I finally got my hair colored again. So that was totally off topic, but anyway. Across the Universe was a really, really great book. It centers around this girl named Amy and a boy named Elder, and they're basically from two different worlds, literally. Amy is originally from Earth, and 300 years ago or so, she and her parents were frozen. They were cryogenically frozen so that they could go on this mission on the spaceship Godspeed that is supposed to be on its way to an entirely new planet that is like Earth, and when they get there, they're supposed to be unfrozen, woken up, and they're there to help populate this new planet. Well, about 50 years before Godspeed reaches the planet, some unknown person unplugs Amy's frozen chamber, and she's woken up, 50 years before she's supposed to be. She almost drowns, and this boy named Elder on the spaceship saves her. So Amy and Elder kind of start this friendship that has some, underlying romantic vibes going on there, but I really liked their relationship because it wasn't like that, YA insta-love that you see so often. For the majority of the book, Amy and Elder stayed at the friendship level, even though you could tell that there was some romantic tension going on there. But anyway, I really liked both Amy and Elder's characters. The story is told from their alternating points of view, so it's uh, one chapter is Amy, next chapter is Elder, next chapter is Amy, next chapter is Elder, and so on and so forth. They both had distinct voices, they both had very different perspectives and points of view, so I really liked that I could distinguish between Amy and Elder throughout the story because they definitely had their own unique voices. There's just so much going on in this book. I don't even really know where to begin. There's some unknown person who keeps unplugging all of the frozen chambers that these people are in, and they're dying. There's this whole new society that has been set up from 300 years of different generations, all living aboard this one spaceship. There's a few thousand people aboard this ship, and the main level of the ship is this society that has a little tiny city and little tiny farms and little tiny cows, and just everything is kind of like this microcosm. Everything is in miniature, and the whole leader of the ship is named Eldest. And Eldest is the oldest of his generation, and he is kind of a tyrant. Well, he's actually, definitely a tyrant. And his heir is Elder. Elder is supposed to become the next eldest. So he's supposed to take over when Eldest is no longer able to lead, and so there's that whole kind of plot line going on there. Um, as the story goes on, Elder and Amy find out that Elder is, controlling the people aboard Godspeed by dumping kind of like drugging them out by putting these like tranquilizer drugs in the water that they drink, so they kind of become like mindless zombies. So you got that whole dystopian thing going on there. There's a lot of like DNA and reproduction manipulation and like all that kind of stuff going on. And probably the most interesting part about this book for me was the whole secret about what the ultimate mission of Godspeed really is, and what the heck is happening to this ship, and why is it taking them so much longer to get there than it was supposed to, and what's going to happen when they reach this new planet. So I have all of these questions that I'm just dying to have answered, and some of them were answered in this book. Some of them I know I'm going to have to read the sequel, A Million Suns, to, you know, find out other things about this whole mission on the spaceship and what's going to happen with Amy and Elder. So, in a nutshell, I really loved this book. I really enjoyed reading it. The last 50 to 60 pages, I could not, you know, unglue my eyes from the pages, because it was just like all these different twists and turns and like all these secrets that were being revealed and all these new questions that are popping up in my head, like, oh my god, what is going to happen next in this story? So I'm definitely planning on reading A Million Suns. I think it came out this January, so I'm going to be sure to go to the library and pick up the next book in this series. Beth Revis also has a really great sense of humor. There's this part in the book where Amy is drugged with this, you know, like kind of mind-numbing drug that Eldest uses to control people. And when you read that part through Amy's point of view, where she's like all loopy and everything, I was just cracking up. It was so funny. And there's really scary parts in this book too. The whole story about Harley, who is Elder's best friend. I'm not going to give it anything away because I'll just go on like a whole other tangent about that, but it was kind of freaky for me. I don't know, like I'm really interested in like space and space, like time travel and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, like it's just like the idea of being in the void of space, just like where you have no connection with anybody else, you're stuck on like a ship that you cannot get off of, like you can't run, you can't escape from something, you know, if something goes wrong, you're basically screwed. So I really liked that whole twist to the story. For me, that just made it such a unique and different story to read. I don't know if I really explained it the very best that I could, but I hope I kind of piqued your interest in this book, because I know it was on my to be read list for a really long time, and it wasn't until just recently that I finally picked it up, because it was, you know, in the back of my mind like, hey, you have to read this book because it's probably going to be really good. And it was. I am so glad that I finally read this book, and I hope that you guys will, you know, add it to your TBR list if it isn't there already, or you'll bump it up on your list if you've already added it. And I think that's all that I have. You can read the rest of my comments about this book in my written review, and I will see you guys later. Bye!
Together, we'll spend some time forever.